Yeah, it's like meat. There's no gluten in meat. You've never had it. You can put a label on it. It's never going to have gluten.
Hello.
Welcome to Leaf Sales with Ian Nethercott and Larry Feldman live.
If you look at the last 4 years, Ian, we've answered 41 million phone calls for dealers over the last 4 years with our AI platform. We've also handled over 150 million text messages. And so when you look at just those raw numbers, that's a 4-to-1, 3.5, 4-to-1 text to phone call. So I don't know. Here's what I can tell you, though. I believe that the customer wants to be met where they are presently. If that is text, voice, video call, if they want to be engaged instantly.
Yeah.
Why were you swearing?
Why were you swearing? And good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. And I know Ron and I were talking a little bit about AI. We were talking about it, I guess, AI versus people versus video versus people shot video versus a bunch of other things this morning. And there was definitely a hot conversation. So if you want to see Bill Camastro go at some other dealers and some other techno companies, it's a pretty interesting show this morning. So he has some opinions, especially around Cadillac. He's really pissed off at them, but for other reasons.
Well, they got him stranded with nothing but EVs.
Well, he says he's got a billboard near the Holland Tunnel in New York. He gets 100,000 impressions a day just because people are stuck in traffic. But he says the problem is, what are you going to do with all these people that you don't have a car to sell them?
What? You had Cadillac buyers forever. I mean, in the old times, I mean, when you had the V8s and the big Cadillacs, I mean, that was the status symbols in the 70s and 80s. You drove a big Cadillac, and now they're putting them on EVs and no room, and it's crazy.
The only gas car he's going to have for the next 18 months is an Escalade.
Wow.
That's the only car. Everything else is electric. And so I said, hey, you met with Cadillac in New York. What did they say? Oh, they have no plan, but they're saying in 18 months they're going to bring back the gas cars with a better infotainment system.
Meanwhile, everyone will struggle in the next 2 or 3 years, and they'll go out of business.
Well, I think it's about them getting rid of some of the dealer count. Personally, I mean, I think there's some bad decisions that no one's taking credit for, whether it be people or data people. But the thing that was really interesting is that if you're targeting dealers right now and you want clients in the dealership world, the Cadillac dealers are going to live and die on used cars and service. Like if they're not doing those things right now, they're going to be out of business, I think. But also I did a fleet show on Monday, and I think there's a huge opportunity just doing fleet and small fleets, even with other brands, to drive used cars, because that's the other problem they have is how are they going to get 300 used cars? Because if they can't sell new, they're going to sell something. Like they can't just have the one Escalade in the showroom and hope. Like that's a problem. So you only want the big gas car. That's the only car we got to show you today. So
As long as it's black.
As long as it's black and we got it in stock, because they're giving us any.
Well,
that brings up an interesting point, because I mean, obviously you could look at, with regard to AI, you could look at, like, we had the guys, Alex Perdikis this morning from that owns a bunch of Kuhn stores.
Yeah.
And they've got like their InRide.ai with their, Michael was on the show this morning, but mining the database is all well and good, but if you don't have the new units when you get here to flip them to add to your inventory, what are you going to sell them? You're going to send them to a, they're going to find a conquest dealer to sit, or what's going to happen there? Interesting predicament.
Well, yeah, I mean, I the thing that interested me about it was I was thinking back to a couple of years ago, and I think it was Hansel was talking about this, and this is back when they had a bunch of cars and they needed used cars, but they couldn't get any. So what they were doing was they were putting them on as short-term fleet lease or short-term rentals. And then they were hoping those people would just keep them and buy them. But they were also thinking maybe that turns them into a used car. And if I've got a bunch of EVs that are gathering dust that nobody wants, like I'd become an EV rental agency, like immediately. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to put all these on rental or lease or whatever. And then I'm basically going to turn them into used cars because like I got to put you into something. So you can't afford $1,000 for an Escalade. What if I could put you into a short-term rental for 18 months in this electric car, and then we'll fix it in 18 months, right? If you love it, great, you can buy it, right? So
and now what they also do with VinQ is they have like a dealer council where they'll connect I don't remember what they call it, but a new thing to like connect the VinQ dealers so that they can talk about initially it's wholesale opportunities to move their acquisitions around, but why couldn't it be new units as well? Maybe there's a market that needs the EV that are too many in California because they're not buying them, and vice versa. And you start having more, not only the wholesale trade opportunities, but like dealer trade opportunities, right?
Every Cadillac dealer has this problem.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then it wouldn't help. And I suppose you can.
Well, no, but I'm saying there's an opportunity. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like if I'm a dealer that maybe doesn't have electric cars or not many, like let's say Subaru, I think they have one. I mean, there's an opportunity to say, hey, you want an electric car? We can put you into this, right? And there's obviously going to be a supply because there's going to be some cars they have to buy. So there's an opportunity there. But more importantly, how do you then take back control of your bottom line? Well, you've got to do it in service. You've got to do it with lease customers. You definitely have to do it with training. So Larry, if you're not all over this, you should be. Like, okay, I'm going to have to train a bunch of salesmen who sold ICE cars for 20 years to sell electric cars.
Ian,
Probably warranties too, right, you guys?
100%.
absolutely. Ian, years ago, when dealers ended up with the Suzuki franchise,
Oh, yeah.
those turned into some of the best used car operators because they had a franchise, they had decent lending because they had a franchise, and they sold 5 to 10 Suzukis, and they were a hero, but they really capitalized on used. And that would be fair advice to any Cadillac dealer today. They got to find their niche, and they got to go and move, and some of them will do excellent. And that'll be something that and a couple years later, Cadillac figures it out. They got a whole bunch of customers that already trust them.
Yeah, I mean, I think subprime too. I mean, not to say Cadillac or subprime dealerships, but why wouldn't you do short-term lease?
Inventory.
Yeah.
If your used car manager can go out and buy a bunch of under $20,000 cars that are nice and fresh sitting on the front line, and you have social media to do it, that's the game.
Oh, what did Isuzu dealers used to do? The same thing, right?
Same thing.
Suzuki. Like what?
Suzuki.
Yeah.
Hey, Mitsubishi is no different. Now it's showing back up, and in Mitsubishi dealers, you get the right operators. They'll sell their allotment of Mitsus, and they'll sell a ton of F&I, a ton of subprime, and used cars. And that's where the cash flow is.
And there is some Buick opportunities. I mean, Buick has some nice looking cars. So to Wendy's point, I mean, could you say to your Cadillac buyer, listen, like you won't sell me anything that people want. Will you sell me some other stuff that I might be able to retail? Like I think back to my grandfather had a Volkswagen store. They didn't have Porsche dealers at the time. So they said, hey, you want to sell some of these Porsches? We don't know if anyone wants them. He was selling them under a different brand. So I don't see that. Why not? Welcome, Lynette, Mike, and David, and Abdul, Christian, Wendy, of course, and Rhonda's got her jar ready, I'm sure, for Mr. Rozek. Lynette, what are you thinking on AI and these days, since the show's really on AI? Hello.
Is she there?
She's coming. And Mr. Hill.
Hey!
Hey, Mr. Hill, how are you?
Oh, I'm living my best life.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And we're just talking a little bit about Cadillac. They're going to have a service opportunity.
Who?
Cadillac, they don't have any new cars to sell, so only EVs. So there's going to be an opportunity to make money somewhere else.
It's incredible. I was gonna, I got, as always, from I consider a dear friend, Wendy and Dave Rozek, about reminding me about human side of AI. And
Yep.
this dealer just, it was an automotive group of 5 stores. I thought it was 3, but it was 5.
Mhm.
Just had to meet at this time, and I thought, okay, well, this is gonna be a 30-minute meeting. It was over an hour. And it's just,
Wow.
but I got him. Okay, that's all.
Congratulations.
Good job.
There it is.
Money first.
Well, yeah, but I just love close. I don't like everything after they say yes. I like my team handle all the paperwork now. So
You like the yes.
yeah,
I was gonna say that's what she said, but it wasn't appropriate.
Oh!
I was like, "Where's that swear jar at, Rhonda?"
Hey, Mike,
Excuse me.
is my screen backwards or is it looking properly?
It's
It's
looking,
proper.
looking
good.
properly.
It's proper. So what's the topic
Marvelous,
tonight?
darling. Sorry.
AI. Where we're
That was
at.
too proper.
Okay, the question
18
is,
months in.
we're a little bit past the early adapter stage.
Yes,
People are using it.
yes,
Is it working? Are there
Yes.
problems with working with it working?
yes,
Uh,
Yeah.
Could you expound on that, Russell, please?
yes.
Yes.
No. So
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
Before
go back-
Russell gets going, I just
oh, I'm sorry.
just talked to Chris Schnellgrove, and he said hello to everybody.
Oh,
Hey,
well,
Chris.
Chris, we miss him. Why is he on here?
I don't know, like this is your lane, man.
Listen, yeah, he's a great guy. I don't know. I just most of my learning is coming from the human side of AI and Dave Rozek, and I hear so many different things. I'm still trying to put it together, but I'm still one of the very early adapters, and I probably know more how much I think I don't know. I probably know more than most, but I have seen a shift in dealerships where you remember Wendy at first with the first year of human side of AI, everybody was signing up for that shit, and it was going out the window as fast as they were signing up for it. It wasn't represented right. It didn't do what it said it was going to do. It was another, this is not really profanity, ADD, another damn dashboard. It didn't communicate with anything.
Shiny little objects,
Yeah, but things are changing, aren't they?
and they're changing fast.
Yeah, and yeah, they are. And I know that dealerships seem to be much more forgiving. If they looked at something, I think they realize now, at least the ones I'm talking to, if they looked at something 3 or 4 months ago, and somebody approaches them and they claim big strides, you should probably take a look at it, right? Again, because maybe they have evolved that fast. But in the culture of our company, we're using it more and more and more to cross-reference, crawl websites, data sets, and things like that would normally take a long period of time, and use that as a tool, not to stifle your creativity, but to be of front and center and be of service, which we all talk about. We're a customer-centric product, customer-centric and dealership-centric. And it's like, we want it to be that way because they should be focused on one thing, and that's their customers and their guests, and providing and maximizing that experience. And unfortunately, they really still don't do it. I mean, we're talking about the same stuff now we've been talking about for 40 years, are we not?
Yep.
100%.
It's
Ding ding.
the auto industry still has that stigma of lack of trust, and with lack of trust, and with AI changing so rapidly, their heads are spinning, and so they need to find the people that they can trust, and let the people that they trust coach them on the best practices of utilizing AI.
But
And
it's
that's
people like
where-
us, Gary, don't you agree? That's why we show up and we communicate and we pour into each other. And every single session I have with you, or if I'm sitting down the human side of AI or certain clubhouse rooms, I absorb. I very seldom even talk anymore. It's like, sometimes it's hard to, because you gotta You know, I'm not going to get off into that. I love those people where they at. They can go on and on and on. And then, you know, 3 or 4 times a week, they say stuff that counteracts what they said 2 days
Right.
before. 1 hour. All right, one to death, right?
Yeah, but also you got to pick the problem.
Why are y'all laughing? Why
Yeah.
are you notice?
But you also have to pick the problem, Russell. I think the biggest challenge that the dealer has is they want to fix all these problems, but what they need to do is pick one problem, find a solution for that one problem. Pick one problem. Don't try and magically think that this crystal ball is going to fix your entire universe. You fix one problem first and do that. All right.
We got 2 problems though. The
Yeah.
dealers can only understand so much.
Yeah.
They can only absorb so much, so they can only apply so much. It's like we give them a Mercedes solution, but they're still stuck on Fiat. Now Fiats aren't cheap though either, but still they're still stuck on Fiats. And I don't get it. And it's just the other problem though is that we give them a solution, we tell them their blind spots, right? But a lot of the vendors and the agencies that are out there, they don't give a shit. They just want to put their hand in their pocket, have them buy stuff to throw money at the problem rather than fix the problem, rather than reverse engineer it and go, hey, if we fix the problem first, everything else would have worked better.
What a
Therefore,
novel
we would be
idea.
more relevant.
Yeah, what a novel idea.
Here's the thing. Start from
But
the
they're all-
beginning. I mean, and fix it. It's just ask the why, fix it together, talk with each other, help each other, and be that fucking trusted resource that a vendor partner always is to me. There's that. There's
On top of being a narcissist, he's a swearer.
That's why they want to hit a bunch of different things, Ian, because 3 years ago when the AI companies started, when we started Human Side of AI, they were selling boxed solutions to any one of a number of things, and they keep adding things like it's a Swiss Army knife and you can buy new attachments. They need to your point, find, they have a pain point. They need a solution to that pain point. They need to start there. But today, 3 years later, we now have dealers that have vetted and used these products and formed their own opinions as to the success or failure of it as a solution. And now they are checking with their people. Because even in the Service Drive Live back chat, they're all these fixed ops directors and the vendors, right, Russell? All these guys, the same as us here, with every role in the industry, are asking, hey, what do you think about so-and-so? Or what do you think about so-and-so? In the Human Side of AI chat, Grace Scott and Jared Kilway and Nate Sechel were going at it back and forth. David, you're not on that one. It's one of the older ones about this one and that one and who's still there and who's not. And there's like a list of 20 voice AI companies now that there weren't even 3 months ago. So everybody's pouring in, and it's just a shitstorm. Yes, Rhonda, I'll pay that. But the point is they keep thinking, ooh, this is even more far advanced. But you know what the other deciding factor has been on this journey for the churn? The customer service sucks.
Well, yeah, but,
So they're
when you
building
look,
it and selling it, but they're forgetting about the infrastructure and the support that they need before they scale.
yeah, I mean, think about 5 to 7 years ago, and I think the first AI phone-based company that I heard of was about 7 years ago, maybe 5, but a while ago. Those companies you don't even hear much about anymore. So you got to look at it and say, okay, that was the entry-level companies with some sort of solution, whether it was good or bad. I really didn't do a lot of thinking at it, but I did interview some people. And then you look at what's going on now, and I'd say that's a second-generation solution. Let's just say there's 50 companies. Let's agree with you, Wendy, on that. I don't know. I probably get a call from one almost every day. How many of those are going to be left in 18 months? Is it going to be 5? Is it going to be 5?
Running out of their seed. They're running out of their seed money. They ran out of their seed money, and if they don't have anybody picking it up, if they didn't get a dealer to grab on, they're gone.
I mean, look at FullPath. FullPath had to get sold to Cox because of their tech debt. I mean, they had too much tech debt that they couldn't handle.
Well, and that's what Cox Automotive does. They buy everything to try to control the market.
But
yeah, it wasn't a strategic buy. It was a fire sale filled with data. So, but you know, there may be 50 AI voice agent companies out there, but the reality is there's only 6.
Yeah.
There's only 6 that are secure and vetted that everybody uses. The number one company that everybody uses is Twilio.
Yep.
Okay, so it's just you have a ChatGPT or you have an Overlord bot or some type of program that controls your AI agent, which is Twilio. And yes, it learns, but it's still it's something that's controlling. It's automation controlling its identity.
Well, you also got to remember another thing that happened recently, David. I don't know if you're aware of this, but I heard this through the grapevine. I won't say the source, but basically, there's one of the companies in the space. They're working with a lot of Toyota dealers. They were scraping information from Toyota corporate and providing that data to the dealers without letting Toyota know about it.
Ooh.
And they've been banned now from every Toyota franchise in North America, if not globally. Because they weren't supposed to be doing that.
Be
Well,
careful. what you
here's the
wish for.
problem, though. Toyota has a unique site. Toyota is one of the few manufacturers and website people that have the type of website they have. It's a little bit more advanced. So it actually feeds bot traffic, but it also records everything that a bot scrapes from it. So they use, what's it called? I want to say Shiftly, but it's another type of product. It's a different type of website. It's more modern. It's the same type that I want to say Carvana uses too. It's not a WordPress site or a regular HTML site.
Yeah.
It's way more advanced, but it records bot traffic so they can see it. But most of our websites, if you check our websites, we have containers on our sites. We have scripting codes on our sites, right? Most people cannot tell me what's inside of that container and what it's tracking and what it's doing. Many people have containers on their site that is pulling data. It's pulling an IP address, right? And it's matching that IP address to other lists that they have. And it says, this is this customer and the address, and we've seen them. And then they take that information and they co-contribute it and sell it to other companies and say, this person's looking at a car. So, and it may not be to another car dealer. It may just be to Firestone. It may be to a bank. It may be to Capital One. It may be to whoever. But the biggest companies that get that data are BlackRock, Vanguard, Chase. And those are the people that own SendGrid, which is owned by Twilio.
Yeah.
So think about it. It's all just data. But I'm gonna land my plane there.
I'm just telling you that, I mean, you got to remember that the manufacturers have a lot of data that they're not even releasing to their dealers. So if you're not careful, I mean, you better be aware that, you know, they still have a lot of information. They're not going to.
It's a headless website is what it's called that Toyota runs. And it's one of the most advanced websites you can have. They used to be like $100,000.
Yeah.
Now they'll cost you $5,000 to build. But it'll track bot traffic right at the front of what somebody is searching for. And they know that that customer came from a search saying, I was looking for a RAV4 under $40,000. And they track that. And they, you know, so they're not looking at keywords. They're not looking at Google Analytics. They're actually looking at what was the prompt that was asked that got me there. And the neat thing in the future with like ChatGPT is when you do a search query and you ask a question like that, you'll never go to a dealer's website. It's going to build you a landing page based on the question that you ask. So it's pretty cool technology that's coming down in the next 12 months.
Cool. Lynette, I don't think Lynette's been on before, so maybe she can talk a little bit, and then I'll go right to Mike. And of course, hi, Sandy.
We need to talk to Sandy too, because she's got to leave.
Okay, go, Sandy. You're
Go,
muted.
Sandy.
You have to come off mute first.
Yeah.
I was looking for it because I was actually going to find Lynette on LinkedIn. Hello, Lynette.
Hi, I am here. I'm listening and I'm being shy.
Oh, that won't work.
You can
No,
just-
come on.
I'm really not.
That
shy.
won't last long.
You can't
I'm
be shy in
cracking
this
up.
room.
I'm cracking
Not
up.
this one.
There's no shy on lethal sales.
I can tell you that
You're here,
Toyota
tell
has great feet and heels. I'll just leave it there.
Okay.
I've known it for a long time.
I'm gonna find Lynette. Lynette, I'll find you on LinkedIn.
Okay, please
That's what I
do.
was doing.
Please
Hi,
do.
everybody. It's good to see everybody, of course.
Lynette, you're gonna create a problem for me because I'm usually the shy one on this show.
Okay.
Looking
Well,
good in
now
front of
now
that.
I am.
You're
I'm
shy, all
super
right.
brave.
There's
All right,
no.
I'll try to step out of my shell then.
So Larry's mother wanted to call him facetious, but it's too hard for him to spell. So
FACETIOUS.
I mean, I tell you what with Felicia.
so well,
I can
Larry,
also
try
spell
this, go.
supercilious and pretend.
Oh, anyway,
Damn.
Larry's always telling a self-deprecating joke. He's always making fun of himself. So,
So what is your thinking about AI? What do you
AI?
think? Yeah. You think
You
it's
know
gonna be a
what?
big disaster, or you think it's gonna be interesting?
And both.
just started. I think a combination of both, because I just started following somebody who is like hitting a lot of podcasts, and I can tell you his name in a second. And he has some very, very interesting points. And I do think that we need some guardrails on it. In the grand scheme, because it's beginning, like it's like the movies, right? Like it's starting to think for itself.
Yeah.
And so there's not enough regulation from an HR perspective. I think that employers need to be very, very careful, especially in how their managers are using it. Like, don't go to ChatGPT and look up how you should have a challenging conversation with this employee who just did blank, or just don't do any of that. There are tools, but you need to be using an enterprise solution, right? I think that that AI is going to bring HR and IT together.
Interesting.
Because governance, it's called governance, right?
Yeah.
Like you have it's if anybody wants to follow Margaret Spence, she's somebody that I'm friends with and I admire her greatly, and she is like, she's got a playbook for doing this, right? There's already some lawsuits, when it comes to stuff like that, but on the other side of it, on the good side, we are going to need a lot of the things that it does, right? We're going to need it because we currently, in the United States, there are about 75 people for every 100 job openings. Okay, so we're short. And that depends on where you are. Like North Dakota, South Dakota has a lot less people per job opening, where there are some areas like California, I think, has a surplus of people for job, right? So it matters where you are. However, when you look at what's happening over the next 10 years, with generations leaving the workforce and those coming into the workforce. So boomers are leaving. So by 2030, I think there's like 5% of boomers left. And we know boomers was this giant generation. Then we have millennials, which is the biggest cohort, and my generation, which is Gen X, right? They make up a pretty big portion, and Gen Z. So, but in 5 years, Gen Alpha's coming in, boomers are going out. Less than 5 years, right? Because it's 2026. Boomers are like, bye-bye, finally.
10,000 a day are turned 65.
That's been for years and years. I've been talking about that like right? But they weren't all leaving the workforce.
No.
They got hit retirement age, but they weren't leaving. They are leaving now. So we're coming to a cliff because Gen Alpha is coming into the workforce. Then add another 5 years, all the boomers are gone. There's only a few Gen Xers left. Now we've had, over these next 5 to 7 years, we have a transfer of knowledge, skill, and expertise problem, right? That we got it. Because I don't know, this is a theory that I have. I don't know if it's true, but most Gen Xers that I know, like I started working when I was 11. I'm not working till I'm 70, 75. Not going to happen, right? Like I'm going to retire as soon as I can. And I feel like there's a lot of Gen Xers. I mean, we were the latchkey kids, right? So anyway, so you've got all these people leaving the workforce, and then you have Gen Alpha, which the important thing about Gen Alpha is that they're the smallest generation we have I've maybe ever seen. They are half the size of millennials.
Really?
So that means a whole bunch of people are leaving, and we have a small generation that is coming in. I've been bitching about that. We got to pay attention to what is happening in the workforce. Sorry, I'll pay my fine, Rhonda, for my B word.
Nobody pays. Everybody says they're gonna.
Tally.
Collect.
Anyway, so
Have a tally.
my point about
You're gonna send out invoices.
So land this plane, right? When I'm talking about like why I think that AI is going to be important, we are going to need this technology.
Hi, baby.
To fill some. I don't know who that was, but to fill some of those entry level roles, right? That don't require empathy, that don't require emotional intelligence. That, I mean, we're going to need to have it because we're not going to have enough people. We're just not.
They're saying in the tech industry, for all the mechanics and all the techs, 5 are leaving, and there's only 1 or 2 maybe coming in. So that experience in the repair end, in the fixed ops, I mean, it is a cliff, and they've been talking about it, and it's right around the corner.
It is right around the corner, and so I think that while AI has its scary aspects, and it was like at NAD, I was like, holy crap, I wasn't expecting so many AI booths. I mean, it was like everywhere I went, it was AI. And of course, people have their favorites, and they are. I heard when I came in, like, my kid, you all know, she just started selling cars. Woo! She with no training, 0 training in her 3rd month. She now has 5 out at this point.
Wow.
So, yeah, but I mean, anyway, but she told me that they, the dealership just got an AI tool, and I was like, well, which one is it? And she's like, she couldn't tell me, or I can't remember what it was called, but it's not connected to the CRM. It's not connected to anything. She has a separate, and nobody showed them how to use it, right?
Genius.
What could go wrong?
Why did they say somebody will hire me to teach somebody how to use an AI?
I mean, like, but I don't know what I expect because they, remember, this is the dealership that told her to go to YouTube and look up the 10 steps to the sale
Oh boy.
as her entry.
Oh wow.
I need a couple weeks with your daughter.
I know, man.
And then she's going to get married after that.
David, it's true.
They have cassette tape training too. Maybe 8-track.
Larry, I don't know if you could take Larry. Or I don't know what she would do with Larry. Larry might leave crying because my kid is, she's something. Anyway. All right.
Crazy. Lots of stuff. Well, some numbers there in the chat. So, Gen Alpha is 39 to 51 million. Gen Z, 71. 74 million millennials. I'm a Gen Xer, which I think is at the top there somewhere. 65.2 million. And 67 million baby boomers. So there may be a possibility if all the Gen Xers keep working and we could hit the slack on the baby boomers. Maybe.
We're not working. I'm telling
Wait a
you.
minute. Let me interrupt for 1 second. Yeah. One of my all-time favorite people, period, just joined us for the first time, Eddie Campbell.
Hey,
Eddie! Eddie is as good a fixed ops guy, no disrespect to Ed Roberts, as you'll ever find. Was an unbelievably good general manager, and I had the pleasure to work with him. He also does a hell of a podcast.
Yep.
So, Eddie, welcome to our program. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me, Mike Larkin.
Mike Larkin.
Did she
So what's your opinion on AI?
Eddie, I'll take all the credit.
Oh.
In this room, I'll take all the credit.
Careful, Larry's going to mute you.
AI and how it's progressing and what's happening with it.
Eddie, you're such a phenomenal operator and a human being, and the love that you pour into people is amazing. You're awesome, man.
Thank you, Russell. I should have tuned in earlier. Get all this love. I think one of you asked me what I think about AI. First of all, I think it's just like social media. It can be good and it can be bad. I try to get as much of the good out of it as I can. And I told Mike the other day, sometimes I feel like it, and I feel like he's Noah telling everybody to get on the boat because it's going to rain and nobody's listening. And the people that aren't playing in AI right now are going to be left behind. They're going to wake up in a year and wonder, what do I got to do? Then these dealers are going to want to start paying the money, and it'll be too late, and they'll pay more than if they would pay now. So I am embracing it. It's changing all the time. I started making AI, just messing around with pictures of hot rods like 2 years ago. I looked at the first one that I did yesterday compared to the ones that you can do now. AI is moving so fast, it's hard to keep up with it. So we got to stay involved, and it's just like working out. Just keep taking in more and more and more. It can be exhausting, but yeah, that's my take.
Fantastic. And I know Lynette is shy, but does she have some opinions on AI?
I do. I do indeed. Okay, so for what I use AI for the most, I love it. With a capital L. It has made my life so much easier. It has made what I do faster and better. And I also don't even need to include certain people now if I choose not to, because I can do it myself. If you catch my drift. Some people sometimes are more challenging to work with. So I can do things on my own and do it, and I don't mean to sound narcissistic or anything, but I can do it just as good. So why not? And have the path of least resistance. My clients love the work that I do, so I give it a big thumbs up. Like I said, in terms of what helps, me with my job.
And do you use it more on the creative side? Is that where you're using it?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I would agree. That's a game changer,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, well, you guys know how it works. There's still my ideas, but smoothed out. And I love it. And I love being creative. And it just has taken, again, where I can move faster, and my work looks better. My clients love it. They're like high-fiving me, and that makes me happy. And it's been, it's been effective. So, yeah, so that's my answer.
Do you see any downside on the creative, being that everyone's using AI in one form or another? You see that it might start to look similar moving forward?
Well, okay, so here's another thing that's very interesting. It's a challenge that I have, sort of confidentially. My artist, I'm an account executive, but the artist where I work, the head art director, is very threatened by AI, that they're going to lose, their jobs. And I get that, but it's not going away. I mean, we can't bury it, and it's kind of like embrace it or get left behind. So what I will do with my creatives, because normally I would sketch things out and say, here's my idea, and I'll bring it to life. So now I'll use it with ChatGPT, turn it into my team and say, here's my thoughts. Here's kind of a rough idea. Do your own thing.
Right.
And they're okay with that. But there's a handful of people that are like office people that are like, whoa, I kind of get it. I kind of understand why AI could be a problem. People could lose their jobs. And I'm like, it can also help our jobs, and we can move faster. So I just try to pick and choose my battles with that one. Downside, you got to prove things, because there's all kinds of mistakes all the time. And that's no big deal, because I'm used to doing that anyways. I don't really see a downside.
Yeah, I think you're correct there, that you can ideate or create ideas a lot faster. But you still have to have the artistic talent. I don't think people that are creative are going to be replaced, but they will be enhanced by it. And I would say the same in the sales side. I mean, I talked to a lot of dealers. I did an interview with a dealer that owns 70 rooftops. I did another interview last week with someone who runs some of 40 rooftops. And the first one said, "Hey, all my people are scared shitless." I obviously will run something for that on AI that they're going to be replaced. But he says, "I don't see that as being a problem because at the end of the day, it's just going to enable them to do more, and enable them to do more makes them more valuable." I was just curious on the creative side because I don't talk to that many creative people on the duplication because I think a lot of stuff is looking similar. So that's my only question there.
Well,
Go ahead.
I have not experienced that, but then again, I'm taking what my idea is, put it through ChatGPT, and my team's going to change it anyways.
Right.
You know, I may say like, "Hey, I still want this rustic look," but put your own spin on it just to make them, because I know they have a concern, just to kind of put them at ease. And my team is very good; they're excellent. But even the help, even my account coordinator, she's kind of like, "Oh yeah, I get it," and I'm like, "Wow." And I don't know, here I go to all these NADA and learn all these things. And I'm like, well, guys, we can't not hop on the bandwagon. It's not going away. So, anyways,
100%.
that's my answer.
It's adapt and change. It's just a fast rate of change. But I do think there's some things it's going to be better at than others. I think in the medical field, it's very interesting. Just the ability to analyze data sets is pretty impressive. I've seen a lot of medical devices using it, which is kind of interesting. But just the ability to for a doctor or medical professional or a researcher to analyze a lot of data quickly.
Oh yeah.
And spot things that maybe they might have missed. I mean, I kind of feel sad because my dad used to do that old school with data entry, but he would have, if he was alive, he would love this stuff because he'd be able to look at trends instantly, and that would definitely make you a better medical professional or researcher. So I think that's really interesting.
Or even like my father, I enter his portal when he goes to the doctor, and they'll give these reports that are like, come on, I'm an educated woman here, but they throw out these big words. So I'll throw it in chat and get the report back in a format that I can send out to my family members that, makes sense. So yeah, I use it for research a lot as well.
If I may, Lynette, you inspired a thought there in your own process, and you already stated that, for example, if you want to do imagery, you don't have to necessarily, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
You're all good.
My AirPod died. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Still good.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
We can hear you.
The Verizon commercial.
Anyway.
Did you hear me now? Right over here.
So Lynette, that begs a question actually. You said your process is like now you can do imagery and you can cut out the graphics designers, I think is what you were pretty much saying, and not have to have all that cost and involvement. But to the same point, you can take the ChatGPT Pro that you've built and you've used, configured with your own knowledge base and your own preferences, and give access to your teams. And of course, in my Wendy brain, it was WWWD. What would Wendy do for my team? But what would that do? And then your leaders on the team can simply go right to the button, and you could cut out yet another meeting or yet another consultation.
Absolutely.
Or work on your own part. Because you can share those already beginning basic thoughts with your team.
Definitely, absolutely.
The basic thoughts. My wife is a third generation artist.
Ooh.
And I remember when AI was coming out, she was like, "Great, I'm going to lose my job."
Sure.
And then she brought me an article about 3 months after that said artists that put in prompts still have better prompts than people that don't know about art. So I think you have to have some knowledge to put into the prompt. I think if somebody off the street was to talk about tires, I think I could still put a better prompt in about that or whatever. So you still have to know a little bit about the field.
Right. I mean, and legal and compliance. So I don't ever see my artists being replaced. I see that we can move faster once they embrace it more.
Yeah. Lynette and Eddie, every time there's a change, no matter what it is, whether it's cars replacing horses, every technical revolution, people freak out. It just means there's new fields that open up and new opportunities. No AI can put its arm around your shoulder or say, I know exactly how you feel.
Right.
And there will always be stubborn people like me, every time I send a LinkedIn invitation and a little note, it says "Write with AI." Screw you. I send my own little note out, and everybody, you don't know me,
Larry.
Lynette, but everybody else knows that I'm completely out of my mind, but I'm authentically out of my mind, not fake. And we're not going to. I always quote my hero Ben Franklin: "When you're finished changing, you're finished." This is just another
Oh,
change.
I like that, yeah.
The people smart enough to use it as a tool will
Yes.
prosper. The people that ignore it will suffer. That's a fact.
What year, Mike Larkin, was the .com when everyone thought that the .com was going to change and revolutionize everything?
1998 to 2000.
I want to say it's Y2K. Remember that?
Yeah.
I had a
That was what it
website.
was.
I had a website design company in 1997. So I can tell you that people, even then, were like, it's not going to go anywhere. But by 2000, I think it was over.
And I had people quit at my dealership when we started using computers. I'm not messing with computers.
Speaking of the, how fast things are moving, in 1996, amazing myself, but I was put in a position where people would call into the office and I would have to recredit their credit cards. And I'm like, after 3 months, I'm like, this is a scam. And I went on to bartend at Murphy's Irish Pub in Alexandria, Virginia. And they were making me the football Sunday NFL ticket bartender. All right. And that Super Bowl, my team, New England Patriots, were playing the Brett Favre Green Bay Packers, and the Packers beat us. But guess what commercial was playing all throughout that Super Bowl?
AOL.
AOL.
With the hammer, right?
Uh-huh.
I heard you say this before, so I just recalled it.
Yeah.
Was I the only
what a
one?
dummy I was.
Mike, was I the only one not shocked when you said you worked at an Irish pub? I think it would have been interesting to say you were doing catering at a bar mitzvah. Then I think we would have.
I look good in a yarmulke.
You look good in that hat, brother.
Yeah,
Listen, would you
Hey,
mind?
this
if
is
I-
an AI, man. This is
Would you
real.
mind if I threw in just a counterpoint? And this, I'm going to gear this towards Wendy Reeves, who, if you're not on it, all of you, has a fabulous show called The Human Side of AI.
That's right.
I might be the dumbest single person on this program, and I went out to Alabama. I got a zillion people into a class. You'll see the pictures, and they took me out to dinner because they thought I was entertaining. Go figure. And there were two people there from Ally Bank and a company called Recover, which is a more sophisticated LoJack. And they flat out fell in love with me, and they altered their schedules and sat through my training. And I'm going to probably get into about 30 dealerships.
Wow.
So while we want to use every damn tool and avail ourselves of every strategy, let's not forget that a handshake and a good joke and being a good listener are still the mainstays to move forward in life, in my humble opinion.
I agree.
But you gotta get visibility to get that handshake. In other words, a lot of times they gotta like you first to engage with you.
Mike,
Because if they don't know you, you gotta start from somewhere.
Mike, would you agree that I'm living proof you can make it done? Because I'm both the most liked and most annoying person on all our podcasts.
This is true.
You didn't have to agree that quickly.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to shout out for a good friend of mine and everybody in the room. Billy Sherm had a heart attack.
No.
We'll put out your prayers too. Yeah, put out your prayers. He's in the hospital. He's doing good. Hey, I sent him a note. Thank God you weren't found between two cars in the lot. You're in the hospital. Thank God you're there. You let the people do their
Man, that guy's young, man.
Yeah, he lives fast.
Yeah, he does.
Go slow down a little bit.
So one of the things that speaking of AI and where it's going, I got fired from a bunch of jobs when I was doing their social media because I couldn't keep on brand. In other words, and this is an exaggeration, but a Ford dealership and a family approaching the building, and the Ford sign was the Ford sign, but it was red. You can't do that on
No
social
way.
media.
No way.
So the things like that, right? And since then, it's become really, really good, to the point where I speak it into existence, and it's giving me a month's worth of different types of pictures where it's the dealership, the dealer principal, the general manager, anybody in there, and it's projecting them out into the community, shaking hands with the chambers of commerce, their showroom. It's really incredible what it's able to do now. And I just see somebody took those pictures and made it's still pictures, right? Made them into a video. So the pictures actually move inside the story of a video. Blows my mind.
But Mike, what's more important about those pictures that you did on social media, though? What do you do with those pictures? You post them on social media, and then what do you do that's important to AI?
Well, I mean, you've got to give AI what it wants. And what it wants is
the content.
the content. And then
Yeah.
what's the content?
Well, it gives you expertise and experience. It proves experience. It builds trust. Therefore, it's making, well,
David, just say it.
David,
Just
hold on.
say
for a
it.
second.
You forgot the authority part.
Why do I have the suspicion that
Yeah,
if Mike
Mike.
Larkin got mugged, he would say to the mugger, by the way, have you heard of EEAT? I'm just asking. You might be able to rob banks instead of people like me.
it would totally disarm the guy.
Be like, what are you talking about? You want
Of
me to eat
course,
something?
You're dancing around at Rosac.
Wait a minute,
Chris,
not
the
a dude.
dancers have
You
dual-
wouldn't confuse them if you were mugged by Brian Kramer. See, Brian was all together.
Abdul, what do you have to say about that, man?
What?
I haven't heard from you in this
About
conversation.
anything, Abdul.
Well, it's just a lot of good stuff to hear, and because we're on the dealer side trying to help them sell more cars and increase their revenues with our platforms, and it's as like I said, adapting and embracing are two different things, and it's a challenge, but we're taking baby steps and we're getting there. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with most of our dealers here in California, and of course with our partners all over, Larry, Gary, and Rhonda helping us, a whole bunch, and looking forward to it. And it's just change is change. You got to embrace it.
Hey, Abdul, as usual, good solid points. I don't think he was in the pregame show, but we haven't heard from Christian. Christian, thoughts, my buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm digging the goatee, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm starting with
And you changed hats on us too.
Yeah, it's so hey, real quick, I threw in the chat what I kind of was thinking about AI, right? So I threw that in there. I mean, it helps give us more. It helps take care of some of these mundane tasks and give us more time to work with our people, maybe work with customers, that type of thing. But I want to ask a question of me because I got the smart people on here with AI. And last week there was a discussion on all things used cars was AI, and it came out that hey, look, Google now is not ranking on price. They're looking at trust, and they're verifying that trust, then price. So if that's the case, how are they looking at us vendors?
Same way.
Okay.
It's all about trust. It's all about having validation. It's all about having the signal and citation somewhere that says that you are the answer, and it has to be able to prove it. So, but it also has to be readable data. And that's the biggest thing, is that where is an AI going to crawl? It's going to crawl social media and your content. It's going to call you reviews. It's going to look at your YouTube videos. It's going to look at those Pinterest ads or articles. It's going to look at your Reddit, ad. It's taking all this information and finding sources, but it has to be current. It can't be from 6 years ago. It has to be now, and you have to keep refreshing it. And that's the key, but it has to be readable. It has to be readable by people. It has to be readable by community. It has to be readable by bots.
But
So-
it's delivered in a snap.
Right.
It does this like so quick.
So what if you started a YouTube channel, say 4 or 5 years ago, and you've been feeding it obviously, but do they give you credit for like going back, for the like longevity of it? Because you said it's got to be the current, but
So,
I guess I'm assuming
there's
it
still
works
engagement.
together.
There's still engagement factors. There's still intensity factors. When you look at an algorithm that's followed on YouTube, it is about how that video looks and is perceived and how it stops you from scrolling. So video has different algorithms. Video is the most important really algorithm out there, okay, technically. But content is still king when it comes to websites and citations and everything. So what's the combination? A video with the right content.
Okay.
And real video is always better than AI slop. But if you're going to use AI slop like I do, at least have the right description of it. If you're going to build stuff with AI, describe it.
YouTube's not AI slop though, right?
YouTube can be AI stuff. I post all kinds of AI stuff there. I put Cajun explainer videos and stuff. I do Notebook LM explainer videos, and then I mix it with real videos. The key is being the authority on enough conversations in different ones and pivoting to different conversations in different ways. I mean, you guys have multiple shows that we go to, right? And it's because we're on different things at different times that have different relevance to different people. We keep coming up as the same denominator. It's just 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 equals, it's Larry. Larry's the answer for being the ultimate sales trainer in the world. Christian is the answer for being the ultimate culture king. Russell is the answer for being the most fixed ops engaging person with those pages. WTF, I mean, it's a slogan, it's him. Now we go to who is the best in BDC. Well, Wendy Reeves is one of the best in BDC angels. I mean, all of us have to be experts, but if we're not talking about it every 30 days, then we're going to suck.
Yeah.
And I almost set the F-bomb for Ron.
So relevance is, you gotta stay on top of it.
You have
That's
to.
the key. And
But it's distance, consistency.
And that's why in the dealer world, as they bring on new vehicles, that's new data, and they buy new cars and they talk about it.
So there is some technical problems with that. Brian mentions pictures, he mentions content, and that's great. But it takes X amount of time to index a piece of inventory because it changes. So we add pictures and then we change those pictures and we put overlays on them and we fuck up the continuities. So there's that swear jar. But what happens is that inventory is only on the site building validity for 15 days or 30 days. So you never build that pipeline of content. Okay, so a piece of social media that's organic has more weight on the internet than a BDP does. Simply because it's real and AI wants real, just like a customer wants real. People want to talk to somebody on the phone. It's okay to have an AI pick up the phone if you don't answer in 7 rings or after hours, but people really want to know us and they want an answer and they want to know who they can trust. So again, it is EAT. I'm sorry, Mike. There we go again.
No, but hey, preach on, man.
No,
I'm like what Eddie said. I'm like Noah.
Yeah, I mean, right now, we're in a world of content decay, though, because AI is creating content faster than we can make it. So AI is consuming that stuff. So what's valid, what's real, what's wrong? And what we're looking at is that Claude is 78% building better in code right now.
Yep.
But it's 80% of getting it wrong also to where it doesn't function properly. So it can build the code better, but it can't find the problems better than a person can technically. Because we still have to make sure it functions right.
That's
because
right.
we have to inspect what we expect.
Human
We're not
side.
getting the results.
Unless, of course, that's why it's manufacturing data, because it's growing faster than even itself can handle. And like the old science fiction movies, it's like, like short circuit, need more input or whatever.
Okay, we play a game.
And it's going to start eating its own made-up content just because it's become insatiable.
Well, it's in a quandary because it's trying to play a tic-tac-toe game. It's trying to constantly find a winner and an edge and
War
really
games,
trying out
right?
outside.
Isn't that the
it's
movie?
War games.
War
Yeah,
games.
that's war games all over again. But we're actually living it right now. And right now I have a Claude tag assistant. And my tag assistant can go into my Slack conversation and it's working while I'm here. It's trying to solve a problem between my engineers in the Philippines right now are doing stuff in AI agents. And they're asking a question. Well, my Claude agent, because it's my agent, is trying to solve it for Dave Rozak, how Dave would solve it. it's taken an OODA loop theory, and it's going, the engineer said this is a problem, Dave. But I'm talking to you guys right now. My Claude agent is using an OODA loop to try to figure it out. And then it's going to give me a summary and say, Dave, this is what we talked to them at 3 o'clock in the morning. What do you think? And I'm going to say, well, isolate it this way. And I want to see this, and this done. So then I'm going to tell it to the engineer, but while the engineer is working on it, the Claude tagged agent is trying to figure it out. And it's going to keep figuring it out. It's going to keep re-examining. It knows that every 24 hours, it's going to re-break my shit. So when I tell you I break stuff, I'm not breaking it. My AI agents are breaking it and giving me a summary. I'm not smarter than anybody else. I just know how to manipulate things better than other people.
And we are out of time.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? Any final thoughts?
Way to go out.
Thanks very much.
Next week, I want to know, David, what are your thoughts on pricing then? Do we put pricing on our vendors, put pricing on their website? Is that going to increase trust or not? So think about that.
Yeah, that's a
I'll
good
give you a
one,
more
Christian.
specific answer next week.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good one. I want to revisit that. Eddie, we hope to see you back next week.
Good night, everybody.
Love you guys.
Everyone.
Everybody stay healthy, Billy.
Thank you for helping the industry get better today live.